So to start things off, I'm going to start with the nitty gritty and then go down the list of the patch notes. So, New Game Plus, pretty much you can keep all your gear, weapons, and character progression for the first playthrough, but as they say, enemy difficulty is increased, but you'll also encounter higher tier weapons and loot to match the challenge. New Game Plus can be repeated multiple times. Each completed run further raises the game's difficulty level and unlocks access to even stronger and rarer weapons as well as toughest enemies in Kester Woods. Personally, I have met certain tougher enemies. First New Game Plus run, I know there's reports, and I've experienced myself that you can pretty much one-shot anything, and the bosses die within about 10 to 15 hits. But I am on my second New Game Plus run now, just to see how big of a change it is, and it is quite a noticeable change. Um, New Game Plus 2 on brutal difficulty, which I played on my first ever run of the game, it pretty much gives the difficulty that you're expecting, and it is not the same as Dying Light 2's even hard mode before Nightmare mode was introduced. But other than that, this update's pretty great, as once you reach level 15, all XP is converted into Legend XP, which means higher difficulty settings and higher New Game Plus tiers, meaning obviously from the second game increase XP gains. So pretty much the more you do of the New Game Plus runs, the faster it will be. Next is ray tracing. I don't really care for ray tracing at all. It's good if you have the power for it, if you really care about that stuff. I'm more of a person of art style over graphics any day, any genre, but for those that care, it says how to enable it. The suggested way to enable ray tracing is to set the video quality preset in your game settings to ultra. If you need more tweaking, you can also enable or disable individual ray tracing options in the advanced video settings to balance performance and visual quality. The system requirements they put is a ray tracing capable graphics card, in parentheses, an NVIDIA RTX of any kind, or an AMD RX 6000/7000 series or Intel Arc. At least 8 gigs of video memory and 17 gigs recommended for 4K. Once again, I'm clear for those specs, but I never cared for ray tracing in games. Performance and visuals. The game is designed so that all settings from low to ultra preserve the same core look and artistic style. Ray tracing improves reflections of lighting, shadows, delivering more realistic visuals, though please note this may impact your performance, something I already said. Please note when Ultra mode is enabled, frame generation is automatically turned on to improve frame rate. I will say, just for convenience sake and helping people, maybe they glossed over it, they say if controls feel delayed, enable VRR and disable VSync. Ensure latency reduction is enabled. If lag persists, disable frame generation or switch to a preset below Ultra. They have added 3 new finishers, which I couldn't really do before New Game Plus because New Game Plus 1 was pretty much OP. They have 1 for one-handed blunt weapons, 1 for two-handed blunt, and 1 for two-handed slasher. So then it talks about the Call of the Beast event of executing 1 million finishers will get you a Gutbuster car skin, then gold 2,500,000 will earn your weapon called the Rascal. It says it's going to run until December 4th. And as always, the rewards will be sent to the in-game stash at the end of the challenge. Then for additional fixes and improvements, which I've noticed a little bit regarding zip lines and certain little things here and there, but there's nothing that I can really say, oh, I complained about this before and I'm glad they fixed it, because at the time of me playing, I didn't really see said issue. So, environmental and navigational fixes. As they say, they've resolved over 200 parkour and environment navigation issues, including climbing and ledge grab problems, as well as block traversal routes. Adjusted multiple environmental elements such as monkey bars, beams, and scaffolding to improve overall parkour flow. Zip lines. Fix mismatched UI/action prompts for a more consistent gameplay experience and address double jump behavior that could cause unfair falls. Vault pose. Add an interaction prompt to clearly indicate they can be used similar to zip lines or ladders, and fix double jump behavior that can lead to unintended falling. And they fixed a blocker in the High Noon quest that prevented players from progressing due to a specific rock formation asset. I have not occurred that problem within that quest before, but I have seen certain rocks being rotated off its axis weirdly, making it stick out like an uncanny sense. But once again, these are little things I don't bother to report because it doesn't hinder, impact, or make my gameplay look any less worse. This next one I actually liked myself because I was also going to, if they didn't raise it as an issue, I was going to talk about it, of how stamina, even when you're max level, was really, really jarring, and Crane was pretty much an old man. But thankfully, they have addressed this, and they have said they've streamlined the early game experience and reworked the stamina curves to give players more stamina at the start of the game. Total stamina remains unchanged, improving early combat encounters. So that's really good. And what I can say now on my second New Game Plus run, that I maxed out the stamina regeneration and overall stamina capacity, and it's way better than what it is. And considering that we have so many skills, I'm not even a quarter of the way through reaching max legend rank, so that's also a good thing, and it gives me a lot to do if I really feel like grinding it. Then they have some co-op fixes, and the performance and stability, even though it's 1 point on their patch notes, I still feel like it's always important to address when games are not running well or having issues for people to point out, hey, that they covered the performance or stability, as they said. So they've said that they improved the game stability by addressing frame rate drops, crashes, and certain assertions across multiple systems, with over 35 issues resolved. Then for graphical improvements, they were just over 70 visual issues, including incorrect textures, floating assets, clipping models, and misaligned architectures. Improved lighting and shadow rendering across multiple environments, including fixes for improperly lit interiors and exteriors, as well as various graphical artifacts. Which I have seen some flickering in my gameplay here and there, but once again, don't care. So that's pretty much it, and so far so good. Dying Light the Beast has been on a very good track record regarding its updates and attention, which is normal, because if you don't know, there is something in, I don't know, I haven't heard this in any other industry, but something the gaming industry likes to call is the honeymoon, where it's pretty much about the first month or two, depending on how good and how much replayable the game is, you're going to have thousands, potentially hundreds of thousands of people playing over and over, making videos, or, you know, any form of content talking about it, blogs, reviews, anything, playtest, and you want to keep, you know, the money generation rolling. So pretty much you're going to keep on that. And the communication for the Beast has been obviously great. So I'm really hoping for Dying Light 2 that there is a difference. That's what I'm really hoping for. And Timos McTala actually tweeted some time ago talking about Dying Light 2, in which he said, quote, "Last week I asked about Dying Light 2 Stay Human, but now it's time for the main dish. As the Beast was released, we're planning our future support for this beautiful title. What are your most important things we should handle? What kind of content updates and fixes you expect the most?" So pretty much with that can pretty much be an entire video, or you could even go back to my older videos where I showcase some wish list features of updates I wish that, you know, some came true, some didn't, which is fine. You know, it's a wish list for a reason. You can't expect, you know, everything that you asked for to come out, pretty much. But with that, if you want to see that another video, that's totally fine, because I wanted to speak about the future of Dying Light 2 as a whole, the lack of true communication regarding mod support and where things are going. And if you want to see that, let me know in the comment section below, and I really want to hear your thoughts about how Dying Light the Beast is going for you so far. You know, if you own Dying Light 2, how do you feel about it in its current state? Let me know everything you have in the comment section down below. If you come to enjoy the video, liking, subscribing, and even commenting about anything helps me out the most. So as always, good night and good luck.